Hello and welcome back to the Motor Guild. I'm Max and this is my BMW E30. So I thought it was about time I gave you guys an introduction to my car. It's the only car on the channel that works so far, and I've got a couple of mods planned for the car as well. So in the next couple of weeks, couple of months, hopefully be able to get some videos of those. Today I'm going to be doing a steering wheel install and also swapping my number plates, so just a couple of little things. And then in future I have some seats to go in the car, a new gear shift gaiter, I'm going to be dyeing the carpet. Hopefully eventually this whole interior is going to be black, so I'll take you along the journey with that. But to start with, why don't I show you a couple of little things that are wrong with the car. Well, here we are outside the car. Funnily enough, I was just about to start this video and someone pulled up, just drove up along this lane, asked me if the car was for sale. Obviously I told him it wasn't, but he had a 318 IS and we just had a chat for about 5-10 minutes about cars, about E30s, and a couple of the little parts that I'm going to mention that are wrong with it inside. He said he was going to have a look, see what he's got, because he's got quite a few spares. So that's what these cars do for you, really. It's a bit of a community in it. So, but yeah, what's wrong with the car? So first up, this little, I don't know what you would call it, little sealant thing that moves around because it's not long enough, a bit of it's perished. So I'm going to have to try and get something like that, because you can see it doesn't quite seal up. And this rear wiper is actually broken, snapped in half there, so I have to get a new wiper arm. Apart from that, the bodywork is really straight. I've got a little tiny dent here, and the same on the front, where obviously someone's just hit something minor, but that's not big. The biggest issue with this car is a bit of rust here, which doesn't look too bad, a little bit surface rust, but when you dig inside on the sunroof, you can see right in there, everything is, let's go straight through, there's a hole there. So that's going to be the biggest issue, getting this sunroof out and trying to fix that hole, because apparently that is the killer of E30s. Once the roof goes, it is not easy to replace them. So, but yeah, apart from that, it's pretty straight. I'm going to get some new badges, got a couple of little dents in the bonnet. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, there you go, there. You know, but that's the little dent on the arch. You know, realistically, for a 30-year-old car, you know, it is really, really quite straight. I'm very happy with it. I said I've got some new number plates to go on the car, some pressed German items. So they should look pretty good, should tidy that up a little bit. But yeah, why don't I take you inside and show you what's wrong with the inside of the car. So starting off on the interior of the car, obviously this steering wheel is going to go. It's quite nice as it is, but it's just a little bit too big. When I get in and out of the car and want to use the clutch, my leg hits the bottom of the wheel, so I've got a slightly smaller Momo piece down there ready to go on. The fog light switches are a little bit sticky, so I need to get those out eventually and try and clean the contacts up, see if I can do something about that. And the same goes for the passenger window switch. The window goes down but it doesn't go up. I've got a couple of other little things. The leather on the dash is cracked slightly there. It's nowhere near as bad as a lot of these E30s. You see cracks the whole way across, but I want to do something about that eventually. And just the headlining in general is a little bit dirty, a little bit saggy. you know, this trim pillar's a little bit loose, and, you know, just general headlining issues that you get in an older car. So that's one of the big things that needs to change, and that's going to not be an easy job. So also these lights don't work. Oh, they do. They didn't used to. Win. But as far as the inside of the car goes, that's pretty much it. I mean, these seats are pretty nice, they're comfortable, but I've got some Recaro units to go in, and hopefully those are going to give a little bit of more support when I'm driving. So I'm not sure how good an angle this is for you guys. I hope it's okay. We are going to take off the steering wheel. First thing to do is to take the steering lock off, and then we're going to take the wheel itself off. Now, to do this job, you're going to need a screwdriver and a 22mm socket and a ratchet. The screwdriver is just to pop this little horn emblem out. It can be quite tricky, they're in there tight. Once that's off, you get access to this nut. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I've already marked this, the steering wheel top and bottom and the steering rack top and bottom with a marker. It's quite useful to do that, just because it shows you obviously how to line your steering wheel back up when you're putting it back on or putting a new one on. So pretty simple. You just I said pretty simple, right? There you go. Crack that nut off. Once it is off, you leave the nut on a couple of threads, just because once you've loosened this wheel, you pull it off, you don't want to pull it off and pull it off into your face. So then once it's loose, you can take the nut off, take the wheel off, making sure you keep this washer, and that is your steering wheel off. Put the nut aside and get ready for your new kit. This is the steering wheel hub adapter. Comes with some hardware, the hub itself, and a centering ring, as well as some instructions. So I'm going to have a quick flick through the instructions and see what order everything has to go in, and I'll come back when I'm ready to put the wheel on. Okay, so the installation is going to be pretty simple. As you can see up here, we've got a top mark for the boss kit, and also inside we have our wire, which is the power for our horn. So I'm just going to slip this over, trying to make sure that we align the top hole with the mark that we provided earlier. It doesn't matter if this doesn't line up perfectly, because we can always go and get a wheel alignment once some of the steering wheel is on. So make sure that our wheel is bang on centre. Once that's on, we're going to put the washer back on, put this nut back on and tighten this down to the same torque that it was when it came off. As tight as I can get it without a steering wheel on, but I'm going to nip that back up once the wheel itself is on. Next up is our horn ring. Through the middle. Goes in the other way. And that just allows, there's a little tab in there, which you can't see, which will contact this ring on the back of the horn to make sure we've got power. Now the wheel itself that I've gone for is a Momo Prototipo. It's a 350mm wheel without a lot of dish on it, so it actually sits, once it's on the hub, it sits about the same place as my stock steering wheel does, which is quite nice. It means that my seating position isn't going to have to change. Once I've got new seats in here, that might be something that I have to look at and possibly get something like a quick disconnect to bring it a little bit closer towards me, depending on where I sit in the Recaros. But for now, that is perfect. I'm going to thread that through there, line that up. I'm just going to put the first piece of our hardware. You don't want to over tighten these, so I'm just going to reasonable tightness, sort of finger tight, and I will double check after a few miles of driving. We'll do it the next couple of weeks, a couple of times, just to make sure that these aren't backing out or make sure that they're not coming loose. That is that. I'm just going to now re-torque this bolt in the middle. Now I've got something to purchase again, so make sure that's nice and tight. Pretty happy with that. I'm going to plug our horn. There we go. Just going to tuck that wire back inside. Try and line up our horn button nice and straight. I'm going to look at possibly getting a BMW centre button for this wheel. It's nice and straight, looks good to me. There we go. And that is in. Check this horn works. Perfect. That's it. That's our first mod of the E30 officially done. And as you can see, well, as you can't see, now when I try and depress the clutch, well, it clears the wheel, and when I get in and out of the car, I won't have any issues either. It feels lovely, this wheel. I'm very happy. So yeah, that's our first mod done. I need to do the plates, but I haven't got the materials with me to do that. They're at home, so I'm going to take you back and we'll do the plates. But first I'm just going to show you a little comparison between this wheel and the last wheel, how much steering angle you have to put in. It's a little bit smaller, so hopefully it should make the car a little bit more responsive, and I'm going to take you and show you that now. Placing the rear plate's pretty simple. 2 screws. Easy. I've already put my foam pads on here. These are not easy to take off. Should have done this before I video.
5 minutes later. 2 hours later.
That took ages. Now we're going to do the fronts. front is actually a lot easier to do, see? And we're done. So, I hope you enjoyed that video. That's just a general introduction to my BMW E30. We've done the plates, we've done the steering wheel. So that's it for the first episode. We'll be back in a couple of weeks' time with some more mini content for you. So if that's what you're on the channel for, you've got that to look forward to. But from me, thank you for watching. Feel free to give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, notification bell, share us on Facebook, whatever you want. If you liked us, if you didn't like us, then sorry. Yeah, that's it. So cheers, guys.